Trust your instincts. I'm here with you, and wherever we go is great.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So I have tons of questions about Bschool today. And I did Bschool, obviously, a few years ago, and it completely, honestly, completely changed my life. You know, I was able to stay home with my girls and my son. I was able to build this crazy, awesome business, and the community is fantastic. So I could fangirl the whole time, but I'm not going to, I promise. But, you know, in 2020 and 2019 and all these great years, there are so many courses out there.
Yes.
And so many different things. And, you know, why is Bschool different?
So there's a lot of reasons, but I'll drill into a few. One, you know, this is our 11th year doing the program. So we've had over 55,000 people go through it from over 600 different industries and 141 countries. And I say that to put it into context that it's a proven, tested experience, that we've had so many different kinds of people with different business ideas and different perspectives and different markets, people of different ages, you know, from teenagers all the way up and through in their 70s, who have seen tremendous success with this program. And there's a reason for that. You know, there's a reason that we're here for 11 years. It's because it works. Of course, as long as you do the work, right? So no program works unless you do. I think another thing that makes Bschool really unique is the fact that we back everything up with a risk-free guarantee, but I think it's more of a challenging risk-free guarantee. And here's what I mean. We don't want folks in the program who are tire kickers. We want to surround ourselves with folks who are like-minded in the sense that they're committed to taking action. They're committed to taking big action. It doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be fast, but it has to be dedicated. And so when you sign up for Bschool, you know, you can come in, you can try things, but we expect you to actually do some work. And if you find that out of doing the work that for whatever reason we're not for you, you just turn in your completed homework and you get all of your money back. So I think, you know, growing a business is really scary. Figuring out where to invest so you can grow yourself can be a really confusing time. And I always want to set people at ease with that, to say, hey, there's a lot of things that you're concerned about, but whether or not you're safe here never has to be one of them. Yeah. And I think the other thing that makes it really unique is the power of our community and our mentor coaches. So we have Bschool mentor coaches, which are other successful Bschoolers who have not only gone through the program, but that are also running their own successful businesses, who have come back and they spend their time with us to support people. So, you know, someone who's an expert and who runs a business in terms of web and online technology, someone who's a product-based business, someone who's focused on coaching, someone who's focused on copywriting. So these people not only have mastered the Bschool philosophy for themselves, but they come back to support everyone else, to support them, to figure out how to apply these concepts to their own business. So I think that the community, the support, the engagement, and then the final thing that makes it different is that you get lifetime access. You know, building a business that you love, creating something that's profitable, that's aligned with your values, that's really a true expression of how unique you are, that doesn't happen overnight. So, you know, when you enroll in Bschool, it's not just like you get access for 8 weeks or 6 months or a year. You get lifetime access. And every single year, my team and I have committed to upgrading the program, whether it's the member area or tweaking the content to make sure it's the most updated and fresh and relevant as it can be, adding more Bschool mentor coaches, adding customer support. And every Bschooler, all the way back since 2010, can come and retake the program for free and never have to pay again.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I have to say, I log in every single year and I go through Bschool, and every year I learn something different that resonates with where I'm at.
Yes. You know, there's something to that. And I want to just congratulate you, first of all, for how wise you are. And second of all, it's about, you know, for me, I'm in business now for 20 years, right? And so I have a perspective to be able to see how things work, what works and what doesn't. And I will tell you this, it is a relentless focus on mastering and getting even better at the fundamentals that can take someone who's really smart and doing great and help them become extraordinary. Often it's not the shiny tools or the newest algorithm trick or anything like that that's going to really move the needle in your business. It's actually coming back to who are your ideal customers?
Mhm.
How is your website operating? Is it optimized to really convert at the level that it could? What's your communication plan like? What's your messaging like? How consistent are you? You know, are you going out there with really strong offers that your ideal customers are going like, oh my goodness, I have to say yes to this. And those fundamentals are things that all of us, myself included, we get better at every single time we revisit it. Plus, the other layer that you alluded to is the fact that we're always evolving and changing. The market's always evolving and changing. And so when you approach timeless, proven material with that fresh beginner's mind from where you are right now in your business, you always come up with new ideas. And I'll tell you, as a team, we go back to those worksheets and fun sheets when we're launching everything new to reground ourselves in the fundamentals that we know make the biggest difference.
Yeah, that's amazing. I celebrate Bschool all year round to everyone. I'm like, you guys got to do this. If you're in business, do it. But there are, some people that hesitate to do Bschool. So why do they hesitate?
We human beings, we are so interesting, all of us. There's many reasons. One, someone could feel like, oh my goodness, I have a full-time job, I have a family, like I have no time to fit this in. Or if someone's already started their business and they're like, whoa, I'm like barely keeping above water right now. I don't know if I can make the time to learn these new skills or master these new skills. Some people, quite honestly, are nervous because they're not sure if it's the right investment for them. So there's a myriad of reasons why we human beings hesitate. But I think what we have tried to do with Bschool is to take care of those. So for example, the time commitment, right? No one's going to come and say, you have to do this all in the exact sequence, all right now, and you have to stay on course for the 8 weeks of the live program. You really can take it at your own pace. If you ever need to press pause, and this is what some of our most successful Bschoolers have done. They've come in the program, they get so much value out of just like module 1 and 2, and they're like, okay, I've got so much great things that I need to implement. I'm hitting pause. And I know in like another 2 months, I'm going to come back and pick right back up and keep going. So I think that any hesitations around not having enough time, I would encourage people to say, really take a look at your future. What might it look like if you had a crystal clear plan for you on exactly how to grow your business, on how to, whether it was increase your prices, how to offer new things that had better margins, how to better and more effectively reach people that you're meant to serve, how to understand technology so that it's really working for you rather than you're struggling against it. All of those possibilities are what you'll get in Bschool. And if you can imagine the impact of that in 1, 2, 5 years, how that could skyrocket your business, as an intelligent entrepreneur, you would take a look at that and go, that's worth my time. That's worth making the time for. Even if it's an hour a week, an hour a week over the course of a year can put you on an entirely new trajectory. So those are a few of the things that I would say to some of those concerns or hesitations that people have.
One of my favorite things about Bschool was that I could start it, work on something, and then, like you said, pause and come back to it. And it was kind of nice to take that step away from being actually physically in the studio and do some of the work and think like, okay, is my avatar in my studio right now, or am I talking to the complete wrong person?
Yes.
It was amazing. What do you think, all of these 55,000 amazing people that have gone through Bschool, what is the most common thing that they say while they're going through Bschool and after?
So I think that for most students, going through the program can feel a little bit like you're like, whoa, like there's so much I didn't realize. I didn't realize there were all these different facets to how I could think through how to put heart back into my business, how I can make the connection. Like I think a big light bulb moment for many people is seeing that their strengths and what makes them so unique and what makes them so different is exactly what's going to help them stand out in the marketplace. And when they understand how to connect those dots in the positioning so that they're not feeling like they're trying to stand out in this overcrowded marketplace, but they're just boldly being themselves, and how that attracts not only consistent business, but higher profit margins, a better team, more satisfaction in how you work day to day. So I think that's one of the biggest ahas that people get as they're going through the program. Like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I could bring all of me to the table, and that's what's going to make this all work. So that's one bit. I think on the other side, when people kind of come through the program and they've done enough of the work where they start to see that momentum, I think what people walk away with most often, besides the tangible results that people get in terms of revenue growth and profit growth and team growth and just their ability to execute in their business, is really confidence. Yeah. That's, I think, one of a pride point for me, because no one has a crystal ball about what's going to work and what doesn't. I certainly don't. But my goal with Bschool is to train people how to make wise decisions for themselves, how to think like an entrepreneur, so that when you find yourself in a new uncharted area, that you understand how to make decisions wisely, that you know how to tap into your intuition, you know how to filter out great opportunities from not so great opportunities, you understand how to navigate, and you have the confidence, because again, for most of us, you know, I don't have an MBA, and I remember feeling terribly insecure because I had this idea about something I wanted to build, but I was like, why is anyone going to listen to me? I don't even know how to do this. And to walk out of a program with confidence, who you are, what you offer, and your ability to run a sustainable, profitable business, to me, that's priceless.
Yeah, I feel that, like, having done Bschool a few years ago, my confidence, actually, I will say the minute I, joined Bschool, my confidence went from here to, hey, I can do this. And it was mostly from being part of the community and seeing that, holy Hannah, like, all these people are doing it. I can do it too.
Yes. And isn't there something so cool too about seeing people from all around the world that are like, yeah. And you see like this interesting thing that X, Y, and Z is doing, and someone else, and you're like, hot damn, we can make this happen. Like, this is awesome. And I think for people that perhaps don't have a lot of friends or community, maybe close by, their family doesn't get what they're doing or thinks it's kind of weird, or their friends perhaps aren't on the same path, it is vital that you surround yourself with people in some form, even if it's virtual, that get what you're up to and that can relate to some of the challenges and that can provide insight and maybe resources to things that you're trying to figure out. And they're like, hey, I just went through that. Here's 5 links. Go check this out. It's huge in terms of shortening that learning curve and just making things more fun.
Yeah, way more fun. And you're not isolated. You've got this amazing community. And it's just so powerful. I love it. And my confidence grew. And I was in the very beginning stages of my business when I took Bschool. So I had just opened the studio. But at what point do you feel is the best stage of someone's business to join?
So I think that's a really personal question and answer. And here's what I mean by that. So we've had people come through the program who had an inkling, right, that they wanted to have their own business, but they didn't know what the heck that business was going to be. Maybe it was going to be a service-based business or a product-based business. Like, something in their heart was like, I know I'm meant to do something on my own and not necessarily work for someone else, but gosh, how do I figure this out? They come into the program and they thrive because we put them through Start the Right Business, which is a bonus that's part of the program that helps people get crystal clear on what is the idea that's going to give them the best possibility for success, and how do you vet those ideas, and what's the action plan to test it. So we take care of them there. We've had other people come through the program that got started on their own, but hit like a little bit of a plateau point where they're feeling overstretched and overcommitted and not sure if they have what it takes to get to that next level, and feels like there's a lot of opportunity that they're missing out on because they don't have the education and the plan. So we thrive with those people. I've also had folks come through the program that are on like their second or third business. They've already had $1 million plus business, but they're on a new chapter and they want a new perspective. They're like, yeah, I've had success, but I want to do something new and different. And I want to refresh myself. I want to look at everything through a new lens and put myself in a community of people who are doing cool, interesting things. So in terms of the answer to that question, I think it's less about the stage of your business, and it's more about, if you engage with our free training, if you take a look at everything that we offer, the success stories, the webinar, everything that we share with you, and something in your heart says, there's something for me here, right? Like, I don't know what it is, but this feels right. This feels like the kind of people I want to be around, the kind of things I want to learn. Yeah. I would say to trust your instincts and to go for it.
Yeah, do it. I remember seeing all the stuff, the beautiful things you were putting on the internet, and just, I wasn't overly familiar with your brand and Bschool, and I was like, I'm doing it. I've got to do it. And people around me had those like, oh, I don't know, should you do it? I'm like, I'm doing it anyways. So I was running a storefront, but there's lots of people who run online businesses. So who is Bschool for?
Yeah. Well, as I shared earlier, we've had folks from 600 different industries, like people from, they run a fishing company to a fashion brand, flower farmers, manufacturing, apps, coaches, photographers, massage therapists, chefs. I mean, every type of service that you could possibly imagine, technology companies to products like physical goods, fashion companies. We